All right. Let's get started with Al. He's got his football in his hand. Go ahead, Al.
Um, when you're looking at the tape, is it people not being in the right spot? Um is it the people out of position? Is it technique? What was the problem? Because I don't even remember the last time somebody ran the ball like that on us.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, in the first half, Williams and Corum combined for 19 for 109. That was just in the first half alone. Um, there were a couple of, you probably, if you think about it, you'd probably know the answer because the run game, it starts up front, and if guys are getting blocked and moved, then you start to have issues at the second level with guys being able to fill in their gaps properly. And in the first half, like for instance, Jordan Davis did not have a great first half. He had a really good second half, but he did not have a great first half. Jalen Carter, and I spoke to someone today who seems to think he's injured, but
He's got the arm
he was
thing.
a non-factor in the run game. He was getting moved, so he was not a factor at all. And they had some major issues setting the edge in the run game. And the Rams must have noticed something on tape, and I'll be curious as we go forward because they were running to the nickel. And a lot of times DeJean was lined up pretty tight to the formation, and he just couldn't set the edge. He was too tight. So they had success running to the edge.
So my question was, I know we talked like Mike Quick a couple of weeks ago. He said the basically the quick game or the up tempo cannot be a foundation of the offense, but it seems to work better with Hurts. So what can they do to use it so it's more effective in the places they call for it? I know you have to have positive plays to run it, but it seems from my untrained, fan eye that things just seem to click when they run.
Are you talking about no huddle tempo?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Tempo.
Yes. Last year they used a lot of no huddle tempo and it was very effective. Normally, and nothing's 100%, but normally you go no huddle tempo after positive plays. In other words, you don't go no huddle tempo on 3rd and 12. So normally, if you can, let's say it's first down and you gain 8, you can race up to the line. The defense might be a little discombobulated. You get them staying with the same personnel, whether they want to or not, and you just start, running plays. Hurts is a veteran enough to be able to do that. We saw him do it very well last year. They did it more, Chris, in this game than in the first 2 games. I would expect to continue to see more of it situationally. So to me, I would. I mean, again, I'm not Kevin Petullo. I'm not Nick Sirianni. I would expect to see it. I think it works for them. It worked really effectively a year ago. It's a veteran offense. You've got a veteran O-line. There shouldn't be any issues with people not understanding what you're trying to get done. So I would expect to see more of it.
Like what you do on the tape, it's unbelievable. But what I was going to ask specifically is what got you to the love of the tape? It is unbelievable what you do.
Well, first of all, I didn't play football. So because I grew up in Queens in New York, my high school didn't have a football team. So I played basketball and baseball. But the way I guess I just was maybe coached at a young age playing those sports, I always saw the games cerebrally. The games I played, I thought about them. So and I started NFL Films in 1979, and in 1984, Steve Sable walked into my office, and I was just a young guy. I'd been here 5 years, doing what everybody else was doing, documentary films. And he said, I think I have an idea for maybe a matchup show, and you're the guy. And then he walked out of my office, and I'm sitting there going, okay. And from that moment on, it was all on me. And that's when the show started because it was the summer of '84. And I just, if I were to look back on the early years, I'd probably either laugh or cry or both. But we got the coaching tape in 91 or 92, and that was like the Rosetta Stone that opened up. I had to learn the whole game, and I'm still learning to this day. I had to learn the game through the coaching tape. And I'm grateful to so many people for taking time for teaching me, but I'm also a grinder, as you guys probably know. I always think there's way more to learn, way more to see. You never have the answers, truly the answers. So I just grind away and grind away and grind away and just keep watching football and talking to as many people that I can. But the matchup show's been on the air since 1984. It's the longest running studio show in the NFL.
What is happening in the league now that, the Eagles did it twice and other teams did it about blocking the field goals? What are you seeing
This
that's
was,
different?
I don't know. I don't study that, but this
Sure.
week I think there were more blocked field goals than I've seen in the last 10 years.
It's
You know, and
now, Mark, here's what the Eagles did. So they knew that John Carty had a low trajectory on his kicks. So
Yeah, I
they
don't
already
remember
had,
that.
yeah. So they knew this, and apparently it was because they've got the Microsoft Surface, so they could see
Yeah.
it. So that Jordan, they talked to Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter about it, and that was they got it. They saw it and they adjusted. Like that's great coaching. Now, the issue with
Uh-huh.
we don't really get into special teams. That's not what this is about, but we could talk more about it
Right.
tonight or tomorrow night if you show up. But the issue with the five muffed returns was embarrassing. That can't happen. They're lucky they didn't turn it over. They didn't, but they're very lucky.
100%.
You
yeah,
know.
Mark, the issue for me is because I watch so much tape and, there's only so many hours in the day. I'm just
That's
not a
great.
special teams guy. And I'll be the first to admit it. I don't
It's
know a
fine.
lot about how it's coached. I don't know a lot about it.
So my question was, I guess, if Jordan Davis continues, I guess this next like three game stretch throughout the entire season, is that
Right.
similar or better production than what Milton Williams gave us last year? Or
No, because what has to happen with Jordan Davis, he's been a dominant run defender for most of the 3 games. The next step is because he's playing a lot more snaps now, so he's playing in passing situations, is he needs to now become a pass rusher. Milton Williams was a very good pass rusher. Milton Williams could win one-on-one in the pass game in multiple ways. Jordan Davis right now can't do that. Occasionally he gets a strong power bull rush just because he's such a big man. And if he can win the leverage game, he can push a guy back, but he's not a refined pass rusher. That's the next step in his development. Hopefully it happens.
Hey, fall is planting season. Did you know that many plants and trees actually do better when planted this time of the year? But you got to know where to start. And that's why I love fastgrowingtrees.com. Doesn't matter if you live in the sunny south or if the air's getting a little chilly where you are, the plant experts can help you find the perfect fit for your space. They've got everything your yard needs: fruit trees, privacy trees, shrubs, flowering trees, so much more. And Fast Growing Trees makes it so easy for you to have your dream yard because you can order online and get your plants delivered directly to your door. If you're like me, you're tired of spending way too much money on landscaping. And if you walk into one of those nurseries and you look at all the stuff they have, you have no idea where to begin. That's why you need fastgrowingtrees.com. Doesn't matter about the size of your yard. They got over 6,000 plants to fit any space, and a 14-point quality checklist ensures you will get the best quality plants possible. This fall, they have the best deals for your yard, up to half off on select plants and other deals. And listeners to our show get 15% off their first purchase when using the code BIRDS at checkout. 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code BIRDS at checkout. Now's the perfect time to plant. Use BIRDS to save today. The offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply. Check out the link below or in the show notes and support the show. Sports are all about competition. Every snap, every possession, every clutch moment matters. That same energy is what 1v1 Me brings to video games. Every single day, you can watch and stake on matchups in Madden, NBA 2K, FC, and Call of Duty Search and Destroy. All the games are streamed live. Every match has refs, and payouts are instant. And these aren't just random online lobbies. These are the best players in the scene, pros, streamers, and rivals. With season playoffs and the championship game on the line, every game matters. Over $100 million has already been paid out on the app, and the community is growing fast. If you're a sports fan, a gamer, or just someone who loves having a little extra on the line, 1v1 Me is where you need to be. It's not just about winning, it's about the bragging rights too. Every match has a chat going crazy, and you can back your picks in real time. Download today and use code BIRDS. Your first stake on the app is risk-free. That's code BIRDS for a risk-free first stake.
All right. So this was probably our first game where we got kind of a sample with Adoree Jackson and Jacorian Bennett. So I wanted to get your thoughts on how you thought both of those guys fared.
Well, Bennett only played 12 snaps. He played it on the last possession of the game. And obviously Nakua caught some balls, but it's not as if they burned him, for 50-yard plays. I like Bennett. I'd like to see him well, I'll answer it this way. It's clear, and I don't know what the Eagles are going to do, but it's clear they're looking for a corner to play opposite Mitchell.
By the way,
I mean,
Bennett got hurt, I think, on the last play. We'll see if he shows up in the injury report. Just be aware of that.
yeah. So, I think that, they're probably, how he's good at this. We'll see if there's a trade available. We'll see what's out there,
yeah.
but I don't think they're thrilled with the situation, because what they're doing is, I don't know if deep down Vic wants to have Mitchell be a matchup corner. I don't think that's the way he truly wants to play. I could be wrong. I don't want to sit here and say I know what's in Vic Fangio's head. I certainly don't. But normally, I don't think now he did that at times with Surtain when he was in Denver, but my sense is his normal way of playing his defense is not to do that.
Yes, my question regarding around the offensive line, I was wondering if you maybe could comment on with the absence of Mekhi Becton, and I know Steen's playing well. What are you seeing versus last year's offensive line play and this year's offensive line play? Because it seems like we're stepping it back. Thank you.
It is. It's nowhere near as good. And you know how you know that? I actually looked at the stats today. Last year, on average, Barkley led the NFL by a wide margin in not having first contact until 4.5 yards. So he was already at the second level. This year, the first contact is happening at 2 yards. That is a major difference. So that means he's being contacted at the first level of the defense. So he's not able to get through the first level without being contacted. So the O-line has not been performing anywhere near as well in run blocking. And, it's my understanding that Jeff Stoutland pretty much controls all the run game elements. So it's not a Nick Sirianni issue. It's not a Kevin Petula issue. It's, Jeff Stoutland, and he's great. So we'll see if it gets figured out, but they just haven't played as well through 3 games.
All right, guys, great job. This is phenomenal. This is probably
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate everybody showing up.
Good to see. Good job for the new people also. See you guys later.